Loyalty is one word that is common in every relationship, be it political, business, maybe just any form of friendship. But then it's also one of the most misunderstood, misconstrued, and even misguided. To some, loyalty is simply faithfulness to any cause one believes in, and it's also a form of accepting one or allegiance to any cause or any person. Today, on Sincerely Speaking, the podcast, we'll be discussing loyalty in politics. Of course, my name remains Francis Elisa Bunaya, but my friends call me Tabitha. To discuss this today, I have somebody who we all know as a loyal guy.
It's relative.
It's relative.
Before, I don't like to be described that way because if you say who we all know is very,
it's ambiguous, right?
It's ambiguous.
Yes, it's relative.
It's relative.
Okay, I have today with me Dimgba Ejieke.
Yeah.
Dimgba Ejieke is a political consultant and of course a business developer. Yeah. What is you've been one who has been in the corridors of power, worked with lots of politicians, and you're also going to do more exploit in politics, even in leadership.
Sure.
So what is loyalty to you?
When somebody from, let's say, area gets a boy to train in business,
yes,
the loyalty exhibited in that relationship is one case we're also going to look at.
Okay.
Then when a politician sees a young guy with a talent and want the boy to work
with him,
there's another aspect of
loyalty
we need to also address.
So you're trying to say political loyalty is totally different from every other form of loyalty?
Or in the context of Nigeria,
okay,
loyalty is about you understanding the vision of your boss, you being part of your boss' dream, you being the ear, the eye of your boss where he could not stay. You're dreaming with him, so you know what to bring into the table at every point in time. You know how to protect him, you know how to market him, you know how to package him, you know how to reduce his enemies.
Yes, to how to reduce his enemies.
Yes, it's very important. Sycophancy is one. You know, one thing about politics is gossip is a political tool.
It's a political tool.
Yeah, people use to get closer to the boss.
Gossip is
gossip. Okay, this man said so. This man said so. Then some of the guys
copy that.
Some of the guys who don't understand the concept of loyalty. So if you're the one that brings the gossip, if you're the one that come and say, "Okay," they say, "Okay, this person do." He said, "Oh, it's a very loyal guy." Yeah,
okay, that's what they mistake such things for loyalty. But in actual sense, what's supposed to be loyalty?
Loyalty, it should be somebody who is committed to that dream.
Now,
who is committed to you.
Now, let me ask you now. Yeah. You know, if you're working with somebody, you're loyal to a person. If you go to hear something somebody said about you, is it not just right? You also tell the person. Is that
your essence is to solve problems. It should be problem oriented.
Okay.
That thing you're coming to tell your guy, when and how do you put it? There are people who have blood pressures. Your guy may have blood pressure, you don't know.
You
just, this person, your guy faints and dies.
To be the image maker.
Everything, your guy.
The extension of your boss.
You should be his everything. That's loyalty. And you should also know how not to talk to you, not to advise. And when to advise.
This loyalty business is a huge
thing. It's a very serious thing. Now, when remember I know them to advise.
Okay.
Some boys, because they want to show themselves, they run into problem.
Over
sabi. Your guy is doing something wrong. What do? You find a way of calling him. He's only a slave or a zombie who cannot make input to his boss' decision.
Life. Can you differentiate between loyalty and servitude? At what point does loyalty become servitude?
At all point.
At one point.
At all point.
At all point.
You are giving him your service. You are giving him your love. Loyalty goes with love.
Now maybe I used the wrong word.
Okay.
Forgive me. Yeah. At what point does loyalty become slavery?
No, loyalty is not slavery.
Okay.
Loyalty, that is where we got it wrong. That's why I say the concept we got it wrong.
Okay.
It's only a slave that doesn't complain. It also means you know how to express your grievances to your boss.
Expressing it in the right way.
In the right term. and not to disgrace your boss.
Servant who never complains
is a psychopath.
He's a psychopath. He's
He's
a
waiting
slave.
for the right time to strike. That was what happened between Wike and the what is it called? The governor. During the campaign,
yes,
if you follow the campaign, Fubara was like a moron.
Yeah.
And the guys, these people like that, he's a very loyal guy.
Yes.
You don't know, they're waiting for time
To strike, yeah.
They're marking time.
Now, in our local parlance here, they call serving politicians Ikuakba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is it really very, very necessary in politics?
Yes, that is mentorship.
Mentorship.
That is mentorship. Mentorship is important in every business. Like I was taking apprenticeship.
Yes, we are going to that.
Now, one thing I have to tell the boys: have capacity, have ability.
Have capacity, have ability.
Think
be
ahead,
useful.
be useful.
Have value.
Let your guy knows that this I'm going to do. One person whose idea will be so important to this I'm doing. This is my boy. Just say, Tabi, what do you think about this? I spoke with Senator this. And your mouth should be sealed.
Yes.
Most of the boss, most of those boys knows details of the organ more than the wives.
They know too much.
They know too much.
So are you likening Isakba, the political, Isakba to apprenticeship system?
Of course. Why we have failed leadership or failed system is some politicians are not faithful to the mentor and mentee relationship, which is what we call loyalty. So you see that person as just a slave and taking advantage of. So after his service or whatever, when something is due, you could have gone back to say, oh, my boy did this training with me and knows where. You go back and call your son or call your brother.
Okay.
Talent is not enough.
Talent is not enough.
Talent is not enough. You might have the talent, and not all people are leaders. Not all politicians are leaders.
Okay.
Some are just mafians who have money and they want to maneuver the system to grab power. So, like now in Nigeria, a whole lot of such persons are all in the system, in the market, and they have the money to spread around to get power.
Talking about Tinubu, he's one person who has who popularized the political apprenticeship system. You understand?
Correct.
So you cannot describe political loyalty or apprenticeship without talking about the current president. Now, looking at his model,
yes,
would you?
One good thing about his model is the reward system.
Okay, his reward system is commendable.
Tinubu has a very good reward system, which is commendable. And for you to be rewarded, you must do exactly what he wants you to do and not what you want to do. So, in the real sense of it, it's not like when Ambode came and tried to think otherwise.
Yes.
If you go to Ambode's side of you or Fashola side of you, they were not that wrong.
Yes.
As governor in place, they had a scheme. Let's do this, it will be good. Let's do this. But the boss
I have my personal idea.
Yes. But the boss don't want your idea. He wants his idea. You get?
Yes. Yes.
So that is the Nigerian.
No. Somebody wrote, I think, Day Paddy, he wrote something. He said, Abia Politicians, I think, something like that, should understand that political loyalty should work in hand with survival, sort of. Let me listen to me. What I'm trying to say is this loyalty not supposed to be symbiotic?
It is. Okay. From the boss and the that is where we got it wrong.
Okay.
Your political boy becomes part of your life. When you are growing and thinking about the scheming, using him, you go this way, become councillor so that you bring vote, become this so that you bring this, become this. You begin to think, okay, this boy has this talent. This boy had this talent. Let me fix him here. I learned what I remember when Rochas was talking about Uche Mosu. Okay. He said when Uche Mosu came to me as one of those student body, yes, his suit was so long, so big, oversized suit. But I saw talent in the young man. I called him in. Now,
for a political boy, you know, at what point would you say you don't do me? Or is this loyalty affinitum?
It's what you just said is it's in two ways.
Okay.
If a guy was good to you, he becomes your master for life.
Master for life?
Do you know what I mean by master for life?
Okay.
Even when he is not there again, when he is on his sick bed, you still owe him that loyalty.
Okay.
You say, how is Morga doing? Even when you become the governor or the president, you now say, okay, please, so the person who brought me to this
System.
How is it doing? You run back to him. Okay, I came to see you. How are you doing? He will tell you, I'm fine. I learned something you did. It's wrong. You're still tapping from his knowledge.
Now you're speaking basically on empathy, which should cut
empathy.
Which should cut across maybe outside policy. Now let me maybe rephrase my question. I'll give you a practical example. We have to look at that issue between the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the former vice president. You know, we are very aware, according to report, that the current president, who was then a kingmaker, nominated the then vice president under Buhari. That's Professor Yemi Oshibanjo.
Yes.
Then it was just normal. Was it normal or abnormal for Oshibanjo to aim higher?
It wasn't abnormal.
Even though he knew his political kingmaker was also aiming and gunning for that position.
Then that is where we also got it wrong.
Okay. As a student of political loyalty, what would you have advised?
Advise the both of them.
No, both of them, or Yemi Oshibanjo, any one of them.
Tinubu was not wrong. Oshibanjo also was not wrong.
Okay.
Tinubu, in his own concept, felt you are a tool in my own political
structure.
So I determine your next step. That's the Nigerian, that is system of politicking. But Oshibanjo, on his own side, felt I'm growing. I'm a grown-up man. At this stage of life, there are things I can help you achieve. If you don't become the president and I become the president, my loyalty is still to you, and we still serve the nation. But because the Nigerian system, like I said, is a mafian system where it must be me. That was why he could use such a word, the popular it's my turn slang, because it's all about him. It's all about what. So
you believe that as a political boy, now a political boss, there should be a time you should let your boy dream his dream.
Of course.
So there should be settlement period.
They should, whether you settle it directly or there's attempts. You just watch your boy and say, this boy has grown.
And you should let him use his wings.
Let him leave his wings. The system in Nigerian system, African system is, and there's a blend of slavery into your loyalty. You must be a zombie to be called a very loyal person.
You must be a zombie.
You must be a zombie
to be called a very loyal person in Nigerian politics.
System. There should be that blend of zombie. There's this common where they say, whether you like it,
that's loyalty.
That's loyalty.
Okay.
If you are just doing that, it is very loyal.
Now let's bring it back home. Now looking at, for example, what's your experience so far working with Abia Politicians?
How will I describe Abia Politicians? It's funny. Abia Politicians. Which word will I use to really describe them?
Find one.
Their approach to loyalty, what they call loyalty, is funny. Sometimes, if you are too loyal, they don't see it.
They don't see it, right?
They want those people who give them trouble.
They appreciate the troublesome ones.
They want to appease the troublesome ones. They believe you're already there in their pack.
So they don't need to.
They don't need to bother about you in that pack. So if you want to be relevant in Abia politics, make up a very good, have nuisance value.
A nuisance value.
Have nuisance value. Don't go and waste time that you want to, because some of them, but it's not the best advice anyway.
It's not the best approach.
It's not the best approach, not the best advice.
But that
loyalty should be your system as a person. It pays in the long run.
There was a trending issue involving a former special advisor to the governor on making ease of business. I think or something. Where the young men from Mungwa and all what's up north, and they were mentioning him alongside others that they got money from the government and they didn't take care of the boys that served them. So I was like, is it really supposed to be symbiotic? Why you are serving Oga? Did you not have any plan of your own?
That is the challenge we face. Most of the boys don't build their capacity in Abia. Most of the boys have no dream. Most of the boys are not planning for tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Now, the guys too are even thinking about their brothers and relations.
Their family, their children.
So if you think you are so important to them, you're making a mistake.
Yes. If you think you're so important to
you are not even as important as your girlfriends.
Sometimes the girlfriends are more important.
They're far more important than you if you think you're so important. You start being important maybe when you want to leave.
Yes.
I've served a couple of people. I've learned from this person. I've learned from this person. I know how this person operates. All those people live in me. I can boldly say I'll be a better leader than all of them.
Because
I have collected, accumulated from their experiences, their strength, their weaknesses. That is what a boy should be doing. Not say your guy will give me entitlement mentality. It doesn't work that way.
No, I'm still referring to Paddy because Paddy's post inspired this interview and other things. So, like, he also made a post about somebody who has served another politician in this state for like 9 years.
Yes.
From the point of graduation, gave him all his life. Probably around 2014 when Ikpazu came to power. That's how I calculated it.
Yes.
Probably the person, they all joined Ikpazu, and then the whole down the 9 years. At the end of the day, the Oga bolted. Most of them left for other parts of the country. Some of them ventured it and that thing. So in the post they were suggesting, well, some people were asking, how can you serve somebody for 9 years without any concrete plan? Do you really believe that maybe some of these political bosses, do you really think that some of these political bosses apply metaphysical powers on their They
apply none.
Okay.
They create a system where you are thinking, okay, the mechi.
They create a lot of
yes. They create that artificial
dependent,
and by the time you get used to that person for that long, you don't even know where to go to again.
Yes.
So they have taken your strength off you. It's a strategy. It's a strategy. And while you're looking up to Kambuhaga, Masamadegi lawyer, are you getting you may be there. He gets something bigger and call his brother in UK. Feel like, okay, I've been here. I thought it would be me.
And you might not be able to speak again because you are still
trying to get something. You think you are next in line until he's out of government. You are not there to Ikono. Ikono is not loyalty. Ikono is not loyalty. Some of them are doing those Ikono to prove to Oga I'm loyal. And I tell people, if you are equal people because of me, I will know that one day if I wrong you, you will call me no.
Yes, that's just true. What point would a politician say, a political boy say, you don't do? For example, let's bring it back to what allegedly happened between the former governor of the state, Ikpazu PhD, and then the alleged political godfather, the former governor too, and his family, the Oji's family. Now, we read, according to reports, analysis we read on newspapers, and even stories on the ground, that while the government was about folding, 2023 was it was heading to 2023, another election year. Ikpazu has done his 8 years, so it was expected for Ikpazu, as a loyal person who was chosen, to return the power, whatever the mantle they gave him, back to those that gave it to him, so that they can choose another person. Now Ikpazu is saying, I'm a governor, you have chosen me, I have served you, well, let me get somebody else to serve me too. And now the problem ensued, and we know the aftermath of this whole thing. If you were in that scenario, of course you were in Abia State, what would you have advised if you were consulted?
I will not believe that what you just explained actually happened. But we are doing how will I put it?
An analysis. Yes,
assume this
from the stories we read.
Ikpazu as a person is a symbol of loyalty.
It's a symbol of loyalty.
I will say that. Loyalty cost Ikpazu this seat.
Cost him his senatorial ambition.
Everything.
Okay.
You remember what happened in Anambra, and all of those things. They institutionalized the system of loyalty. You must be a zombie. We realized when what was happening for the former governor, the governor would go to the former governor's house to take instruction before coming. A sitting governor. I'm not against it. If somebody gives you power and still want to mentor you based on he has been there and he knows a few things, it's right.
No, but let's assume this scenario I created, according to the reports I read, was what happened. Would you have advised Ikpazu maybe upon the end of his 2015 tenure to be like, okay, you people enabled me to become, now choose who I should hand over to?
If you were Ikpazu at that point, Ikpazu has a program for state development, if he has a plan for state development, and as a sitting governor, you know, this plan is most suitable, can be sustained by this person. What stopped him from saying, no, Oga, please, let's work it out this way? Okay. We dialogue it. But a case whereby even a former governor is not talking about state development, he's talking about scheming. So that the conduit or the wiring, you understand,
will last centuries and ages.
Yes, ages. You want to enlarge your political dynasty, you want to enlarge your flow of income or whatsoever. Yes. That is where I would say, if I were in a position,
you wouldn't have.
I will not.
Okay, now you've been a loyal person.
Of course.
Has your loyalty ever been tested?
Yeah. I was slapped in the stadium. People were like, why did you slap back? I said no. I did not forget he gave me that platform.
You remember?
I remember he gave me this platform.
You remember the good thing he had?
I remember the good days we have been. When some boys came up, let's gather and deal with social media. I said no, he's still my boss. And today we are so very close. So each time I look back to it, I say, wow, that was a big test.
It was a big
challenge. People were like, you Mugu, you flow, you. I said no. And that had taught, that's it. Loyalty or this is about training. That has also training. So loyalty is tested. When you see money, see power, see human, will you still be that same person you've been to yoga? When a loyal person is fighting, you see it. He will be creating that space. In case.
It's been a great time talking political loyalty on Sincerely Speaking the podcast. Of course, and I've been with Dimgba Ejieke. Dimgba is one experienced person when it comes to this political loyalty business. I thought of no better person to discuss it than Dimgba Ejieke.